All right. Yeah, great. It's good. I'm here with Michael from HostShare, one of the newest and most interesting Airbnb companies that have come out. It's going to be a software that allows for Airbnb hosts to be able to have free Airbnb stays. We just met at HostCon and I couldn't believe what you were doing and how you're doing it. It's a platform business. I just like Airbnb, it's also a platform business. So is Uber, platform businesses. I find them super intriguing. So to be able to sit down with you, the most interesting entrepreneur ever, we're definitely going to get into those things. But
I'm just a farmer.
so I keep saying, but why don't you explain a little bit about what HostShare is to everybody, and then we'll just kind of kick it off there.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks. So HostShare, it really came out of this idea of like, so it's myself and a few other business partners, and we all have short-term rental properties right now, but we were always traveling. We realized like, gosh, we had these huge assets that, stay booked most of the time, but there's still, 50 to 150 nights per year that each of these just don't get booked at all. They're not being utilized at all. And it's like, man, that's a big asset to have a lot of waste with. Even though they're profitable, making money, it's like, can we leverage them even more? So we thought, you know what, we're always traveling, we're always staying at these Airbnbs and paying all these fees, and it just gets really expensive. And we thought, gosh, let's try and create a sharing economy platform. It's basically like a recreating Airbnb, but it's specifically private to like a private club for short-term rental hosts only. So they join the club, submit their listing. How it works is they're instantly awarded 21 nights of free stays anywhere in the entire network. So everyone gets 21 nights of free stays right away. And in return, to be able to get that, your listing has to be available a handful of nights per year, typically, for other people to come stay at. Really, the goal is to change the way hosts travel.
Just to summarize that, to make it like super straightforward, if you have an Airbnb, you can put your Airbnb on this other platform, and then you give it away for free for some nights, ideally when it's not being used. And then you're able to stay at a whack load of other Airbnbs for free as well. So now, as an Airbnb host, you now have the additional advantage of also being able to travel for free because you have an Airbnb, which is fucking genius. Like, so excited about it. Just the fact that you have, this is the thing that exists, right? Like,
Yeah.
everybody has Airbnbs. You're right. We all want to travel in these Airbnbs, and now we get to stay at other people's Airbnbs for free.
Yeah.
And we just give up, like, we're just not giving out the peak seasons
Yeah.
of these places.
We're
right?
giving away. So the goal is to just give away the nights that aren't being booked. So it has to be a last minute booking. So within, 5 nights is what we're going for right now. That may adjust, but the goal is to give those nights away or let people stay at that other hosts. And in return, I can go travel now. So when we first came up with the idea, we were same thing. We were like, how does this not exist yet? Like there's no way this doesn't exist. And we were looking all over and it didn't exist. And so the feedback's been phenomenal. Hosts are really excited about it.
So straightforward.
Yeah.
Every single host is going to absolutely love this. Every single host knows that they have those extra available days. So they're like, why not? Right.
Exactly.
The couch swapping, right? Or couch surfing has existed for a very long time, but also house swapping has been, that's the name.
Home swap. Yeah. Home swap. Yeah. Home
right?
swapping, house swapping. Yeah.
And that's where people, if they're going to go travel and stay somewhere in another country, they can go and stay at somebody's house for free, as long as they give up their house to somebody else who gets to stay there for free. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And so now you're just doing the exact same thing, but for Airbnb hosts specifically.
Well, it's very similar, but not the same thing. Cause a house swap, it's a lot of coordination of like, well, this person's going to come stay at my place and I'm going to go stay at their place. And it's like, it's kind of like finding a needle in a haystack. It's like, how do you find that perfect? So that's a house swap. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Ours is a mixture of that because you're not swapping, but you're not paying for nights.
Right.
But we've literally recreated an entire marketplace platform where people hosts can go find where they want to stay and book it instantly. So,
what's super cool too is how many people have already signed up for this. So you have 500 people who are in your beta stage, right? But you have 27,000 people who are on your wait list.
Yeah, it's in like 20-some thousand people. So we've gotten a lot of interest from the management companies, property management companies, and they have, big portfolios.
Right.
They're trying to use it as a perk to go, hey, if you sign on with us, we manage your properties, you can now go travel. We're partnering with HostShare and you can go travel for free.
Right. Have you signed on with Eval or Vacasa yet?
So we've had conversations with them, but we haven't signed any of them on yet as we're trying to navigate the best way to go about that.
Gotcha.
Right,
probably best to like get it started, maybe get a little, work out all the bugs and then be able to go from there. Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Super cool. Talk about your other businesses as well, because other people who are hearing you say this, like, great idea, super unique, very interesting. It's going to be, it's going to take a bit to like get into that ability of where it's all completely understood. But I have 100% faith that if anyone's gonna be able to figure this out, it's gonna be you and your team because of all the other things that you guys are doing, right?
Yeah.
So It's got like 6 different businesses. Not a single one of them is connected to the other one. They all make absolutely no sense of how they came together. My favorite one, I'll just start off with my favorite, is Void Check. So if you need a void check, you can go to his website. Was it
voidedcheck.com?
voidedcheck.com, and you're able to get it. He said it's a business that he started. It took about 3 weeks to get started. And it's just sort of ran itself ever since then.
Yeah.
But then actually probably the Smash Company is my favorite.
That's actually
you explain the Smash Company.
He did a good job explaining it last night.
Sorry, the one he does, he ships containers to different colleges, and you have to either get somebody to build the container or you build it yourself, right? It's not a shipping container, but it's like
it's basically like a pop-up tent room.
Pop-up tent room, yeah, exactly, right? And then in there, the idea is that you could just smash things, so destroy things, break things, whatever it may be. I thought it was going to be TVs that you could hit with a baseball bat, but it's other things. Like you get to throw plates into the walls and smash the plates as many as you want, right? Just kind of like let out the anger.
Yeah.
Is there, what else can you smash as well?
Yeah. So we pretty much only do plates anymore because it's very streamlined and it allows us to scale it really quick. And we started this in 2019, and who knew pandemic would cause a lot of stress in the colleges and stuff. And so it just blew up, and that's been a very interesting and fun and very surprising business. Honestly, we have one fulfillment center in the Northwest, and then we ship all over the country. We have about 50 some kits right now that are just constantly being out in the field. Yeah.
50.
Yeah.
I find that to be the funniest business. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what an interesting
it's a weird one, but it's really surprised us.
Yeah, so you can get a void check, or you can get a tent that smashes things from the same guy. And then you also have the other.
So we've got Photobox, which was started back in 2012. Basically, the whole idea was like, we stand in line at photo booths, but what if we can use the camera in our hands, our phones, to be able to take photos and have those print off at a photo booth? And so we created that technology, the hardware and the software. And now that's like top 1% photo booth companies in the world. So that's been a really cool business.
So just super different, super unique businesses all over the place. All of them have been able to take off. They're profitable, been able to move forward, right?
Yeah.
So like, he knows what he's doing, and he's coming out with this new software platform called HostShare. It's going to allow for all these hosts to have such a unique opportunity with their property. Love it. And again, I was kind of geeking out about this because I love business. I love everything about a good business, a really well thought out business, something that has a lot of legs to it that can really grow. And I've studied platform businesses, and obviously platform businesses are Airbnb, Uber, Lyft, all those different kind of companies that bring one side of the business, which is people who are hosts, and the other side, which are guests. So you kind of bring them together on this platform and you transact that relationship. So when I hear about a new platform, I always get really excited about it because of the opportunity of what the business can truly become. And what do you see the business actually becoming over the years? What do you see it turning into as of today before it's officially released?
Yeah. So HostShare, we've had crazy ideas, big visions for it. We really believe that we're going to change the way majority of the hosts travel.
Right.
Because it's like, again, it goes back to that asset that we have. It's like, why would we not utilize this if we have the asset and it's sitting with nothing going on? Let's just leverage that asset more and start traveling for free. It's like, to me, it's a no-brainer, and the feedback's been the same thing. It's like,
is there anything kind of different, or that you like sort of opportunity that you want to be able to take advantage of when this actually happens, that other people will be able to take advantage of as well?
Well, I mean, I think the whole thing's unique because it's the only one that exists right now. As far as anything specific, it's hard to say, and I feel like we're going to learn a lot this next year. And now we just launched beta.
Right.
I think the even bigger vision potentially could be like, it could be a next Airbnb type, platform with there's so many hosts out there now. It's like, this might actually be a really, really, I think it has a lot of legs.
I think it has a lot of legs as well.
Like, sky's the limit.
Is it going to be international?
It is international already.
Already?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I wanted to go to anywhere in Europe, I can go there, potentially stay there for free, and somebody can then come stay at my place.
Yeah, we've got a lot of properties in Europe. Yeah,
that's super cool.
Yeah.
Do you see this as something that could potentially, like house swap, like you were just explaining it, and I didn't know this until you just said it. With house swap, you actually have to find somebody who wants to stay at your house, and you can stay at their house.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
But what you're doing that's different is that you're just when it comes to Airbnbs, you're just giving up the days, and then you can go to any place, right? You don't have to directly
within the network. Yep,
is that
exactly? Right? Yeah, it's the marketplace. Just like Airbnb, go book it, instant book it right now.
Right, and so you can do that, and then, but with house swap, you can't do that, right?
Exactly.
So is there a potential that you could figure out a good system behind this, right? And then people could put their own houses onto the same sort of platform that are not Airbnbs, and simply say that, you know, I give you 21 days of my house.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I want 21 days of any house that's kind of out there.
Yep.
And you kind of coordinate it in a way where people are willing to give up their house at that time.
Yeah. Definitely. Like,
Yeah.
if, for sure, you know, I'm a big believer in really targeting start very focused on a niche. And so that's why we're targeting the
Got it.
SDR. Me and my partners, we all understand the market. We've been doing SDRs for years. And so it's
Right.
like, this just makes sense right now. But I think as it grows, that whole sharing economy, I think it's just the beginning, really. I think we're just talking about real estate. Like, it can be this idea actually originated with one of my business partners he wanted to do it with his airplane. And so he's like, we
Okay.
need to do this with airplanes. And then it was like, well, we toyed around with it. And then it came to realize, like, you know what? Actually, short-term rentals might be the better fit right now,
Yeah.
because I think there's a huge need, whether we
Yeah.
realize it or not. There is a huge need there for it.
I love how casual you kind of throw some things in. Yeah, my buddy's airplane that you want to figure out how he did. It's where you said it before you even started the conversation. You're like, yeah, my one buddy has put 7 million followers, subscribers. Just casually tosses those
I'm just a
things
small farmer.
in. You know what's funny? You keep making that joke where you say like, I'm just a farmer. And the reason I find it's funny is because there's a little bit more like psychology behind the way that I think.
Yeah. You have a unique mind.
Yeah,
so
like
let's hear it.
one of the ways that I like to think about the day-to-day grind of anything that you have to do, right? So like it doesn't matter what you're doing. I always think of myself as a farmer. I've literally told this to people. So you kept making the joke, and I'm like, I gotta
That's
tell
funny.
you. The reason being is because back in the day, all there was farming.
Yeah.
And the best thing about farming is you have no choice. Like
Yeah.
you have to get up, you have to take care of those plants, you have to take care of whatever you're doing,
Yeah.
so that you can harvest that food, so you can have food for the winter, so that you can go do it again and you can survive and you can live, right?
Mm.
They have no choice.
Yeah.
It's the idea of not having a choice.
Yeah.
Whereas nowadays, it's so easy to just like feel like you don't have to do something.
Yeah.
But the reality is, if you don't work, you're not going to be able to bring in the income. You don't bring in the income, you can't eat, you can't support your family, you can't do all those different things.
Yeah.
So if you just kind of take the reality of like, I'm a farmer, I have no choice, I got to get up, I got to go take care of my crops, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I am going to be able to feed my family by doing that, right? And so
Yeah.
any kind of work that I do, I always think of it that way.
Yeah.
And
That's good.
that's so I tell people I'm a farmer too.
That's
right?
gold, man.
And you
I
gotta
love
say it,
that.
right?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
It's just a great little trick to like
Yeah.
to tell yourself.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I like that.
That's good.
Do you have any sort of insights on how you've been able to be so successful with all these different ventures that you've had over the years? Like,
Yeah. I mean,
you're just a very laid back guy. Like,
Yeah.
you don't gonna put off that like I'm a hardcore entrepreneur. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
But
yeah, I'd say, like, I think there's so many people everyone has like good ideas. Everyone I talk to, they've all got good ideas. The problem is I think fear is keeping people from actually executing. It's like, measure twice, cut once style concept.
right.
Cut it right, measure twice, cut once. Well, the problem is if we just I think people just keep measuring. They never
Yeah.
actually go and make the cut. It's like,
Yeah.
you know what? How about just measure once and then make the cut? And if you mess up,
Yep.
cut it again. Like, I think just get it's
True.
easier to steer a car that's driving, that's moving,
Yeah.
than the one that's sitting there. So it's like, just get the car moving and then you can steer from there. So like, just jump in and do it. Like
I gotta say, man, that is it. I'm always trying to pick up things that maybe I'm doing wrong that other people are doing right. And it seems like the one thing that keeps coming up from everybody who is successful in some sort of way, it's almost the exact same thing they're saying. You're like, you just gotta do it eventually. You just have to like pull the trigger eventually, right?
Yep.
As a data guy who analyzes data nonstop, I have the issue of sometimes I could feel like I'm being productive because I've overanalyzed something. I've like really tried to figure it out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And all the deals I'm doing right now are with techfesters. So there's other people pulling triggers on my research that I do,
Yeah.
but myself, I'm not pulling the trigger enough. And I'm starting to notice that about myself, where I'm not like just putting myself, taking the action to actually move forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm measuring 14 times.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
All right, hold on. Let me get
Yep,
this right,
yep.
right? So anyway,
Ready, fire, aim.
yeah, I'm reading it right now.
There you go.
Yeah, it's been super insightful.
Yeah.
Super
you go.
insightful. Yeah, so trying to get that one product that makes sense, pulling the trigger on
Yeah.
it, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So anyways, love that. And it's something just for myself that I'm kind of working on as well. So it makes a lot
Cool.
of sense that would be the one thing that you would kind of give out.
Yeah.
Is there anything about HostShare that we want to share, right? Like anything, other sort of details about it?
Yeah. So like I said, beta just launched. Right now you can join. It doesn't cost anything. You can submit your listing. It's really easy too. It just takes about 2 minutes. You literally just copy and paste your Airbnb listing right there on the app. It's all hostshare.co. And then it'll pull in all your details from Airbnb, create your entire listing for HostShare right away, instantly. And then you instantly, once that gets approved by our team, you get awarded 21 nights of free stays within the app, within the whole network right away. So
kind of a no-brainer.
no brainer. Yeah. So
Like-
we're looking for feedback, beta users. So
Yeah.
come join us, test it with us. And
I honestly, I love businesses that are no-brainers. right? Where the value proposition is so obvious that's why I was like, we need to do a video.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like everything I talk about on my YouTube channel and everywhere else is always about data, making sure you get these things. But every once in a while, I'll come across something that's just so interesting that I'm like, everyone who's watching my stuff is going to be an Airbnb host or want to be a host in some sort of way, right?
Yeah.
So to be able to share something like this with them is exciting for me. So I
Cool.
appreciate you like.
Yeah, thank you.
Man.
Yeah.
I'll throw all your information down below so people can,
Perfect.
link up with that. Obviously, guys, like, share, subscribe if you like this. Share this with a lot of people. HostShare is going to be, I guarantee it, a name brand that's going to be out there in the next year, 2 years, without a doubt. So I'm excited about it. I got to get an Airbnb up and running so I can get on to it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, appreciate it though. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good one.
Thank you. Perfect.